Hello everybody, welcome to this playthrough for Rookie Division in the Spring Major Tournament. The video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. So let's go. We're gonna start with the quarterback here. I'm gonna play 20% downhill. So we need to add 20% to our adjustment. I'm going to use, or let's say like this. I'm gonna let you decide what spin adjustment you're gonna do here. I'm not gonna use any topspin or backspin in the example, but if you want to back up and play with topspin, or you want to move your target more in front and use backspin, that's up to you. The only thing that I'm gonna focus on here is to put myself here on the fairway and stay away from the rough. That will put myself with an opportunity for making the eagle from distance, or at least gonna make a very easy birdie to start with. And therefore, as I'm also using a Marlin ball, I'm gonna come to that now actually a little bit. In this playthrough, I'm going to use the mostly power zero ball, basic ball or Marlin ball. I will be using one or two or three, I'm not completely sure, one or two power one balls also. The reason I'm doing that is to keep this in a level when it comes to balls that it is suitable for rookie. I understand that there will be people playing with Kingmakers and Titans, and then of course you can play more aggressive, you can use more side spin, you can use more not topspin, but you can use more distance, etc. So have that in mind. So the approach shot here for the second shot, I do make one mistake here, is that I'm using the backbone as a long iron. I would like to use the Goliath as a long iron. Reason being is that when we are in between clubs, between wood club and the backbone, then there's gonna be such a big gap that you're gonna lose a lot, or you're gonna change position so much that it's gonna be super tough. So in this example here, I'm using 3 bars backspin, slightly underpower my shot to not get too far. But that is not something that I do want you to do. I do want you to be able to play without having to under or overpower any approach shot in this playthrough. So keep that in mind, choose the Goliath, so you rather play with Goliath than you play with the Viper there. Now hole number 2, a 30% downhill, so 3-0, we're gonna add that to the wind, and then we're gonna do our normal adjustment. Max backspin on the Viper, which is slightly more than 3 bars, and then I'm using 2.5 bar side spin to the right as well, and then I'm gonna play my Viper in minimum distance with a 30% over adjustment. And here it's very important, if you're gonna play on this spot that I'm going for here now, it's better to be played with a power zero ball. Otherwise you're gonna be in between clubs with your long iron, and that's something that is tricky on all the par 3s, that we're gonna be in between clubs if we're choosing the wrong ball and the wrong club. Getting it down there very nicely. I would love to have like half a bar more backspin, so like 3.5, 4 bars backspin would be perfect in my opinion here. And this is a course where you can play with a basic ball as well. Only reason I play with a Marlin there is to reduce the wind just a little bit, because I do not have that much backspin with the Viper. And reason for me being wanted to play down, like much further down than our opponent, is to take away the obstacles that we do have in the beginning, because the risk is always that we do hit our ball great to either right or left side, and then if we bounce up here on the fairway, we're most likely going to just bounce into the sand or into the rough. Now our opponent got a bit lucky to bounce in the rough and roll out, but that at least my plan, to take away as many of the obstacles from the beginning possible. Hole number 3. Here we're gonna play with a Marlin ball once again. Max topspin, which is 4.5 bar, and 2.5 bar side spin to the right, which is maximum with a Marlin ball. Aiming before the rough with the red ring halfway into the rough. We're gonna play in medium distance. We're not gonna play max distance, so medium distance with a 10% over adjustment. So we add the 10% to the wind, we will be getting a 3.7 mile per hour wind instead of 3.3, and from there we make our adjustment. We only want to focus on getting it over there to the fairway, and for this, in this way we're gonna have a shot to bounce over towards the pin. Here, if you play with higher level clubs, and when I talk higher level clubs when it comes to rookie, I'm talking sniper 6-7 plus. I'm talking, of course, like an extra mile 6-7 as well, with more with a little bit more distance. Then you can also use a power 2 ball, and you will be able to play with the sniper. When playing with a power 0 ball, as I do here now, I do not have the distance enough with my sniper 4 or my Viper 7 to be able to bounce on the fairway over towards the pin, so I had to use the big dog. And the big dog is not the club that I do want to use, because the accuracy is terrible and the ball guideline is terrible as well. And the only reason I'm using it is due to playing with a power 0 ball. Otherwise, I would be picking a different club. So please have that in mind, that you can decide what you want to do. If you play with a ball with more power, then you do not need a club with that much power, and therefore you can change from the big dog that do have a lot of power towards a Viper or a sniper that do have less power. So I hope you understand that explanation, and I'm trying to cover all types of situation with ball and club. And in the end, please make a comment if there is anything that you do not understand. 3 to 4 bars of backspin when we bounce over, then it's gonna roll very nicely towards the pin. Hole number 4, and here it's time to play with the backbone. And the reason I want to play with a backbone is because I do want to have backspin on my club. And the backbone as well is going to make me be in absolute maximum distance of my club, which is perfect, because it's easier for us to adjust from maximum distance or from minimum distance than somewhere in between. Also on this shot here, we do need to over adjust 20%, and once again we add that to the wind, and then we make our normal adjustment to make it easier for us. Our opponent bounced there on the fairway, and I'm not seeing any problem with that, more than the fact that the bounce is going to be very high, and with a great shot or a bad adjustment, that might be bouncing ourselves into the rough if we are very unlucky. Basic ball, you can see we are in maximum distance, and I'm going to first start with max backspin to see where the ball is going to land. In the end, I end up with 3.5 bar backspin. You can see how, look now when I drag back here, the ball guideline goes up, which means higher bounce. When we bounce here at the spot that I'm aiming for here, we have a much lower bounce, and you're gonna see that once it hits the ground, and that is so much easier to control. It's going to be, even with a sloppy adjustment or with a great shot or even with a good shot, you will be getting this ball to stay on the green because the bounce is gonna be so low. The only thing here though is that I do need to use more backspin. So I do need to use 4 bars backspin or even 4.5 to be good there. So please keep yourself picking the club that gives you as minimum 4 bars of backspin with your long iron, which in that case was backbone in my bag. So now we're gonna play straightforward. I don't know really why I'm not using the quarterback. The quarterback is perfect here due to its accuracy and ball guideline. We're gonna use 2 to 3 bars topspin, aiming just straight down the middle. You maybe wonder why I choose the left side instead of the right side. I don't really have a great answer to that, more than I feel that the wind is going to be more straight once going towards the pin now for our second shot. And in the end, the sniper shot the Viper shot from the right is definitely a possibility. And if you feel more comfortable playing your drive to the right than to the left, then you do so. That's up to you what you feel comfortable with. But the drive to the left is very open. You do have a very wide fairway. You will not risk anything if you hit the ball great. And that's something that is very important. That's something that helps us feeling comfortable with our adjustment, and therefore we will hit perfect more often than we do hit great, if we do feel confident that we actually can hit great and still gonna be okay. 20% downhill for the drive, very important, and that goes for right side, left side as well. Now, playing for this fairway island now, it's important to take a look first, where am I in terms of distance of my club? And I see this one as medium distance, and that's what I'm gonna go with. 1.5 bar backspin, aiming straight at the pin. And if you feel uncomfortable with the spot here, you move the target more to the right and use, if so, a little bit of side spin if you do have that one on your club. From this position here now, I've been going around saying that this one should be adjusted 30% downhill. I want to change that to 40% downhill. So 4-0, 40% downhill, then we're gonna be good. Very close there for an eagle, and I do definitely believe that this one could be dropping for us if we do have a little bit of luck. Hole number 6, and here I'm just gonna go over 3 bars side spin to the right and 1 bar backspin, and I'm actually just gonna play myself over, not giving myself that much distance on the drive. And that makes also, and I remember I said that on stream, I don't need to play with a power 2 ball. Like, I'm playing with a katana, and the only reason I'm playing with a katana here is that I do want to have the side spin for the second shot. But you're gonna see that I don't need more than like 1, 2 or 3 bar side spin to the left. So I could I play this one with a not basic, but with a Marlin ball instead to save my power 2 balls. But now I play with a power 2 ball. What's done, it's done. And the drive is gonna be 10% downhill, and I'm just focusing on getting it over to the fairway. 1 bar backspin, a couple of bars of side spin. You can play without backspin if you want to, but I like the control way to get it just over, make it stop, and then we're gonna have an opportunity towards the pin. For the second shot, we do need a wood club that gives you minimum 3 bars of topspin. And in my case, that's the big dog, because my Viper gives me 1.5 bar topspin. That's not gonna be enough. So 3 bars topspin, I'm playing with 3.5, but that's gonna come in way hot here. I'm changing again to 3, but you're gonna see that the 3 still comes in hot. And it's very hard to get the correct roll here on this one, as it sometimes goes a little bit short, sometimes goes a little bit long. But this is also not gonna be a hole where many people are doing a bunch of albatross. So we do have a chance, but I do believe we're gonna be need of some luck when it comes to roll our ball so far. You can see here I'm bouncing where we aimed, but now it just takes off, and we're gonna roll almost over towards the fringe. Okay speed, but 3 bars topspin, a little bit less maybe, 2.8, 2.9, details. But the second shot, I'm not gonna over or under adjust anything, just gonna play it as it is. Now, hole number 7, par 4, the last par 4 in this playthrough, but also in the tournament. So hole number 7 or 16, as it is on the 18 hole course. I'm gonna play it straight down the middle using the topspin that I do have on my club. I'm not moving my target from maximum position, as 3 miles per hour not gonna push me that far. And I also needed a little bit of distance to get up to where I wanted to. You can see I'm getting here to the fairway, not even close to any type of rough, which is perfect. The drive here otherwise is going to be played 10% downhill if you play with an extra mile that maybe gives you more distance and you will have to back up. But reason I'm playing with the quarterback gives me a better accuracy, gives me a better ball guideline and more control. As for having a club with better accuracy, the ball is going to go pretty much straight even if you hit the ball great. But if you do have a club with less accuracy, then that ball is gonna fly way to the left, way to the right if you do hit great. Choosing the right side here gives us an open shot towards the pin in terms of that we're gonna bounce on the fairway like our opponent did, but not coming in that hot. That's a good chance for an eagle, still not easy as we do have to rely on 2 bounces before we roll the ball towards the pin. But we do have a lot of fairway to play on, even though it's from an aerial view, it looks like a very thin or like a tiny fairway spot, but it is pretty okay, I would have to say. 1 and a smidge backspin. I'm bouncing, look, I want to look, so the ball guideline is showing that I'm bouncing over the fairway using maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment for the second shot. And you can see there before that I was actually in just complete maximum distance. And I think that's important that you use the Goliath here. You do want to have that as a long iron, as you're otherwise gonna have that gap that I talked about on hole number 1 with the backbone and the Viper. If you're using a power 0 ball, power 1, power 2, power 3 will of course change everything there. Hole number 8, here we're gonna play the downhill 30%. Now we're gonna play with a long iron as we do have tailwind. And therefore, the Goliath once again. And when I speak about the Goliath, it is a club that you unlock already in Tour 3. But you might not have it in a good level. But that's no problem. You're still gonna have the stats necessary even in level 1, level 2. And I have a level 4, but in the end it isn't that much better in level 4 than it is in level 2 or level 3, for an example. But I'm gonna play with a basic ball here. I'm gonna back up, we're gonna play with the Goliath, and we're gonna go directly at the pin. You can see here that I'm trying to line up so the ball guy line is pointing straight at the pin, but that's the hard part with lower level clubs when the ball guy line is crap I would say, compared to maxed out clubs, of course. Then it's gonna be hard to like, oh, is it straight at the pin? How will it react when it bounces? I'm also using a little bit of backspin here, but you're gonna see that I'm gonna come short. So with this shot here, you're not gonna use any backspin, any topspin, any side spin. You're just gonna aim straight at the pin in maximum distance with your long iron, adjust for maximum distance with a 30% extra, then the ball is gonna roll towards the pin, and hopefully you're gonna go and get it in the hole. But that was straight in line, so without that backspin, we never know. So hole number 9, max topspin, which is 4.5 bars, and max side spin, which is 4.5 bar. I'm playing with a power 1 ball here, the Quasar. The reason being is that I do need side spin when going over to the other fairway spot there. Reason we're not using left side is because we do have a bunch of trees in our face. If we're playing left side, even if you do a splendid drive, you're gonna have the trees in your face, and therefore we play right side, play a more safe line, and just going to have to be focus on our drive. We need to get it over here. If we just get it over here to the fairway, then it's done, you know. Then you have the eagle locked in, because you can you have a lot of fairway to play on going towards the pin, and that's going to be a shot that I believe everyone is going to be able to make, as there isn't any obstacles left. The only thing is the drive, and that's something that we do need to be very focused on once it's time to take that shot. 10% downhill for the drive, so I don't forget about that. So 10% downhill for the drive, and then we're gonna play second shot 0. I played that one 10% before, but I'm not gonna do that anymore. I've changed my mind, so I'm gonna play that one 0 and not gonna add or subtract anything to my adjustment. Our opponent's gonna try to go over with a Titan ball, and you know, I don't think it's wrong to use a power 3 ball here, but it's enough with a power 1, especially if you do have an extra mile. If you do have a quarterback only as a club, then I would say the power 3 ball would be perfect, as that would compensate for the loss of distance you're gonna get from going from the extra mile with more power to a quarterback with less power. Second shot here, now I do have the big dog, and the reason having big dog is due to the distance, but also for the topspin, because if I am unlucky going very short with my drive, then that distance and the topspin is going to be very, very helpful. And I'm going to try to see here now, once again, the ball guideline on a big dog is very bad, so it's hard to, you know, see or to judge. And I'm using 3 bars topspin to get my ball to have that little kick towards the pin. And here, once again, as I've said on other holes as well, you will have to decide what spin adjustment you do want to go with, because you can use different spin adjustments. It's all about where you put your target. If you want to follow my position, then you do that. But if you find a different one yourself, then you follow that instead. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the playthrough for Rookie Division in the Spring Major Tournament. 9 holes of the Cajon Resorts in the Spring Major, of course. And if you do not want to go in directly and play the tournament, you can go and practice all of these holes on tour number 4, the 6-star hotel. For those of you that do want to have detailed adjustments for Rookie, but also for the other divisions, you can sign up to the Ultimate Sex Guide package on patreon.com/golf-tommy. There you will get a link to every division once you know Tuesday during tournament week is. Then you will get those, you can read, and that's going to be the way that I'm adjusting for my shot in detail, all from elevation, curl, spin, distance of your club, what clubs, what ball, etc. A lot of information, but that will really gonna help your cause. Also, if you do want to take a look at the video description down below, you do have timestamps for this playthrough. So if you do not want to watch one specific hold, you can just skip that and go to next one, or just skip to everything and just check out that hole that you're looking for. Also, comments and questions in the comment section below, and I will be happy to help you out if there is anything special, using not most likely, but using mostly power zero ball, using one katana and one quasar as power 2 and power 1. Try to keep it as good as possible with that. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Good luck in the Spring Major.